ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Latu Maharaj's words on faith, devotion, sadhana and attainment of perfection. Latu Maharaj says, can anyone attain spirituality with a mind that shrinks whenever a single harsh word is spoken? Nowadays, people run after religion. All such running is a fad. How many people are genuine? How many want spirituality? Everyone acts religiously as if religion were a passing trend. Still, even a bad attempt of doing good is good. At least that much is gained. But just as one does not learn a thing if one does not follow the instructions of one's school teacher, one cannot attain spirituality if one does not listen to those with spiritual knowledge. Spirituality cannot be attained by fraud. Ram Prasad sang, O mind, did you think by faking devotion you could attain Mother Syama? She is not a sweet in a baby's hand, that by distractions you can snatch it to eat. Who will trick who? The bumpkin or the braggart? She will take every last cent that she demands. Will you try to cheat God? He is wiser than you. No one can obstruct the one who wants to do spiritual and devotional practices. He will go on with his work. The mood of one who performs spiritual and devotional practices is completely different from that of ordinary people. There are diverse paths to God realization. One must hold on to one of them with all one's might. One needs one-pointed devotion to attain God. Though I know that the Lord of Lakshmi, that is Vishnu, and the Lord of Janaki, that is Rama, are not different and are the Supreme Self, yet the lotus-eyed Rama is my all in all. One needs to have one-pointed devotion like Hanuman's. Nothing is as mischievous as the mind. It raises so many doubts and disbeliefs. As one repeats the name of God, the desire for honor and fame departs and the mind becomes pure. It is far better to call upon God than to learn, expound, and teach to others thousands of religious subjects. Is spirituality like the delight of sense enjoyments that one will get instant results? The attainment of spirituality takes time. One must patiently stay on the right course. When a man is hungry, every type of food will seem delicious. At such times, he eats a belly half of whatever he is served. Satisfying hunger is surely the body's predominant need. Similarly, one who has developed intense devotion to God does not dispute philosophies and paths. Restlessness to realize God, he follows one of the available paths. Intense love and abiding faith are crucial means of God realization. The sages used to sing the glories of Sri Krishna. That is why Sri Krishna revealed himself to them, declaring, I am God. The boys of Braja played and sported with him so much, yet they could not know him. If one wants to know God, one must do spiritual and devotional practices and sing his glories. If one continues in this way, God will surely appear and make everything easily known. No matter how much one wonders, he will see that there is nothing anywhere, only futile suffering. If one can sit in one place, calm the mind, and call upon God alone, one will achieve everything. If one doubts the words of the Guru, one can never attain spirituality. Is it an ordinary thing to depend on one person? One will have to go on following the Guru's instruction, whether happiness or misery comes. Then only will the benefit fructify. Can a person lacking character understand the inner meaning of spirituality? God says, O man, be truthful, be pure, be a person of character. Then you will be able to realize me. If a person has a bad character, he cannot understand the Shastras, the Puranas, and the like. That is why ordinary people think those texts are all fiction and hearsay. If one performs spiritual and devotional practices, austerities, and the like, all of those texts will surely be revealed as the truth. A real sadhu will have no self-interest. He only retains enough self-interest to ask, how shall I attain faith and devotion to God? He does not savor the intrigues of the world. One becomes a sadhu to attain peace alone. He who fears Dharma and God is a righteous man. How many people are like this? It is very difficult to keep devotion, faith, and trust forever in the Guru, in sadhus, and in God. That man who has these is truly fortunate. It can be said that God has a great compassion for him. What is the purpose of eating the food received by begging? One has to renounce as crow droppings, all praise, all insults, and fear of public disgrace. If one is a renunciate, one need not care for such things. First eat the alms, next repeat God's name. Then His grace will dawn. There is no happiness in this world. Everything is unsubstantial. In truth, God is the only essence. Can just anyone understand these words? No one can grasp the meaning of these words without the special grace of God. The Guru and the chosen ideal are one. In the divine play, the one has become many. He is verily Brahman, the primal Shakti, the world, and the Jivas. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva are but the various forms of the one. The perception of differences arises out of ignorance. For that reason, you must perform spiritual and devotional practices and discern, placing great trust in the Guru and the teachings of Vedanta. You must remain deeply devoted to your Guru and Ishta, chosen ideal. Gradually, the experience that everything is the invisible Brahman will dawn your heart. Then you will see him residing in every heart. The Shastras contain awe-inspiring teachings. What of it? You must substantiate them in your own life. That is spiritual practice. What is the point of merely receiving a mantra? After receiving the mantra, you must work in accordance with the Guru's instructions. Then only can the Guru's greatness be understood. Unless one has seen God, the deceptive tendencies of the mind do not stop. The Master used to say, if you have some means of getting food without cheating or deceiving, eat such harmless food and take his name. By these means, you will remain in joy. Morning, noon, evening, midnight. At any of these 4 times, as you choose, you should regularly practice japa and meditation. Then you will progress quickly in sadhana. God is undoubtedly essential. Had I not realized the master of this world, this life would have been futile. Prahlada had pure, unconditional dispassion. Some develop dispassion for a particular reason. Even that is good. It is sufficient indeed if one can call upon God for any reason. After listening to the Bhagavata and other scriptures if you try to act in accordance with them, you will surely reap the benefit. You need to have firm devotion to God. There will surely be pleasure and pain in this world. If you do not forget this, you will feel that everything is auspicious. What is the use of the mantra that is whispered in the ear? It is not only the mantra. If one has no faith in the mantra, God can never be seen. Is it a small thing to develop devotion and faith in Him? Even seeing the affection of one's father and mother, one does not develop devotion to them. These are monks. They have no certainty of where they will get food. Yet, what great service they are offering to Tilbhandeswar Shiva. If you see that, you will be amazed. Getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning in this extreme cold, they take a bath in the Ganga and then worship and read the holy text. Again, after taking bath in the evening, they perform worship and the like. Are these trivial acts? I cannot do this. This is only possible if one has the right type of devotion. It is indeed a good fortune to have the chance to serve the deities. He is very fortunate whom God allows to serve him. Not everyone understands this. Many times their attention goes towards money. Considering devotion and liberation to be insignificant, they forget God's service and ask, "Where is the money? Where is the money?" That is why they suffer so much. I greatly respect the sadhus of Tilbhandeswar. If one becomes a real sadhu, one becomes like this. The mind is very restless and naughty. It wants to continuously run here and there. Great vigilance is required to watch where the mind runs. For this reason, meditation, concentration, and holy company are essential. Then the mind becomes calm. Nothing happens unless the mind is calm. After the Kurukshetra war, when Sri Krishna was going to Dwaraka, Kunti said, "O Krishna, I don't want a kingdom. The delights of the kingdom make one forget God. Give me suffering. If I suffer, I will always remember you and see you." Indeed, at the time of suffering, everyone remembers God. What comes by merely reading books? Realize Him through renunciation and austerity. A monk should stay alert whenever he is in close proximity to householders. One should live in such a way that no doubt regarding the sadhu ever arises in a householder's mind. A monk should engage in intense spiritual and devotional practices. If sadhus are seen doing this, someday or another the householders will think about how much labor they are putting for God realization. They will ask themselves, "What am I doing?" If even for a moment a little awareness comes in one's mind while watching these monks, one's inclination goes towards God. That will surely bring benefit. The bounty of the garden belongs to the master. The gardener offers that bounty to the master with the utmost care. This reveals the gardener's attitude of service. All of the objects of the world are surely the property of God. We are like his gardeners, thinking, "You are the master, I am the servant." And being equipped with devotion and faith, if one lovingly offers to God the things that are already his, such an attitude can be called Dasya Bhakti, that is, the devotion of a servant. You only read the Ramayana and Mahabharata the way others read a history book. Look at this 8-year-old boy, Bimal. He reads the Ramayana and cries uncontrollably. He tells me, "See, Maharaj, I was Hanuman in the kingdom of Rama." Is it not true, Maharaj? I was surprised to hear this. God alone knows what this child has understood. Sri Ramachandra is God. Can one compare him to any man? A person should surrender everything to him. As much as one offers to him, that much he gets in return. If you give 1 anna, you will get 1 anna. Give 4 annas, you will get 4. Give 16, you will regain the full 16. That mother is free who tells her child, realize God. The world is unreal. Parents are themselves suffering in this world. They also cause their children to suffer. Fortunate indeed are those parents who plainly tell their son, you can see how much burning there is in family life. You will suffer if you marry. After understanding this, marry if you like. That parent is truly liberated. There would be no urge if everyone had such understanding. But due to not understanding this, all troubles arise. What dharma can a man perform who does not believe in the afterlife? He is an atheist. He is really a non-believer. People meditate and give in charity only because there is an afterlife. He who believes in the afterlife is verily a spiritual person. One should offer the choicest items to the master as food offerings on special occasions and celebration days. You may ask, where will I get the money? You find time enough to gather money for other expenses, but cannot find any money for a good cause. Only then is your attention fixed on the expense. Arranging everyone's photos on your altar, you chant superficially, Lord, Lord, you only pantomime. That is the depth of your devotion. Your master will remain forever fixed as a photo under glass. All of these rascals are just making an outer show of devotion. I do not have that type of devotion. In whatever way you regard Vishwanath Shiva, he will be that alone. If you consider him to be a stone, he will be a stone. If you regard him as God, he will be God. The sum and substance of this is that you should not engage in hypocrisy. You get no results because you lack simplicity. If one has the right type of faith and devotion, it will surely bring spiritual benefits. The man who desires God will dislike pointless activities and useless gossip. Why do you unnecessarily distress your mind? How many austerities are needed to uplift the mind? Yet now and again, you people become morose and create all kinds of confusion. It is very bad to weaken the mind, bring great strength in the mind. The mind of one with faith in God is undisturbed by the misery and suffering of this world. To enjoy the things of this world, one must surely sacrifice. It is well known that nothing comes without sacrifice. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampaधृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमिड्यं त्वं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामि.